Hey guys, I want to address a few questions that people have had about sharing the facilitator role at our events. And once again, the whole idea of having facilitators and having discussion questions is to keep things on topic and to strive for a balance of perspectives at the table. So question number one, what do you do if somebody's talking for a long time and basically dominating the discussion? So this is a really easy one to remember. Just remember to give them the finger. That is to say, just raise a finger and say something like, excuse me, sorry to cut you off, but I just want to make sure that we have a balance of perspectives on this question. We have other questions as well to cover, so that kind of thing. Here's the thing, people who talk a lot usually know that they talk a lot. And so in my experience, people are never offended if you can gently, graciously cut them off by using the finger. And a lot of people don't actually know how to end their statement of what they're saying. They don't know how, they kind of need someone to cut them off in a way. Question number two, how do you know when it's time to move to the next question? Because as taking turns facilitating, you pass it off to the person next to you. So I see these discussion questions just like, like a fireplace, right? Like throwing logs on a fireplace. You only need to throw on a new log when the fire is dying down. It's the same thing with the discussion. You just kind of like sort of sense how the discussion's going. If it's going really well, you don't need to throw in another question. You don't need to go to the next question. And it's not about getting through all the questions, right? It's about getting to that sweet spot where people are engaged in the discussion. So when you notice that people have generally weighed in on that question and the discussion is dying down a bit, you can just, hand the discussion questions over to the person next to you and they can read the next question. Question number three, how do you steer things back if the discussion is wandering off topic too much? So it's just natural that people will say things that are a bit off topic, but if it goes on for too long, I just usually say something like, so getting back to the question, and then I may repeat the question again. One last little tip, if you read a question off and, it's really silent at the table, people are kind of like too shy to answer, just be the first one to answer the question. You answer it yourself. I mean, you're part of the discussion as a facilitator. So just be the first one to answer and get the ball rolling and then inspire people to jump in. Trust me, if you remember these simple points, it's really easy to help facilitate these events, even for a really shy person. The great thing about sharing the facilitator role at these events is that you can see how other people facilitate. You can see what they do and you can, steal their tips and things like that of what they do best. And, we can become better listeners and we can express ourselves better through this whole process because, the Meaningful Discussions Project is about the art and science of meaningful discussion. So it's the art of listening and the art of expressing yourself. So thank you in advance for helping to facilitate these events.